My name is Jessie Ace. I'm part of a group of ENabled Warriors that you've probably never heard of. We're fighting back against our invisible illness and taking the dis out of disability. We don't give sympathy to our symptoms. They enable us to be the warrior that we are. If you ask doctors and nurses, they'd say what we're doing is impossible. But pushing the limits of our conditions is something that we have to break through every single day. So we push the limits. We are mentally strong, and we can do anything. The question is, how far can we push those limits? This podcast will give you the answers. I'm Jessie Ace, and this is the Disabled to Enabled podcast. Welcome back to another candid chat about COVID. It is driving us all crazy, right? I want to go out for a meal so bad right now, but we can't. It's okay. It's not for forever. We will get through this together. Today, we are here with Carley Gordon, whose episode is coming out in a few weeks' time, and we're going to chat about what things are like where she is right now. So you're in Chicago, Illinois right now?
Yep.
Yeah. So what are things like over in America? Because this is also the time when all the kind of craziness is happening, riots are happening, and all of this sort of protesting and
yes,
what on earth is it like over there?
I know. I feel like if you went back to January at this point and said all of this was going to happen, everyone would have laughed. Like a pandemic and riots and these cicadas that come out every 13 years, like I feel like the plague is happening. But it is nuts here. We have entered what they're calling in Illinois the phase 3. So restaurants are starting to reopen, but only with outdoor seating. Some other non-essential businesses, so some clothing retailers, hair salons, nail places are opening. People have started flooding those places, and I'm just kind of, as a person with chronic illness, staying back. I'm not willing to go out to a restaurant yet, but they are starting to open, which is really nice. It's harder in the city a little bit because there is less space for restaurants to have outdoor rooms. So it is a little bit easier in the suburbs. They're setting up in parking lots to make it a little bit more airy, more space, but I'm still cooking at home, doing a little bit of takeout here and there. The riots have been interesting. There's kind of two things going on with the riots and the protests. I think the riots have slowed down, which has been really nice. Those are the people that are looting and the people who aren't as much for the Black Lives Matter movement. So luckily that's kind of gone down a bit, which has been really nice. And they have kind of been overshadowing some of the Black Lives movement, which is unfortunate because it is such a big and important cause. And so that's still definitely going on. There are still protests. There are still people marching. There's still so much going on social media, which is amazing, and it is a great cause. And I think a lot of it was sparked out of COVID and people losing their jobs and people being fed up with what was going on and people being home more and police brutality and all of that stuff. And I'm definitely not an expert to talk on that. But it is such an important cause, and I think it's all so interrelated. And there is so much going on, but I will say people are doing a really good job of wearing masks at all the protests that I've seen.
That's really
I live on a busy street, and so I watch people from my balcony going down and cheering them on, but everyone's been wearing a mask, which I'm like, yay, people, good job. So it's been really helpful.
Totally. I mean, that would be the kind of really worst thing, wouldn't it? If everybody was kind of joining in on these protests and things and not wearing a mask, and then COVID spikes again, and then we have to isolate again. And I'm so glad that they're wearing masks.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll kind of have to see what happens in terms of, because it takes like a week or two for COVID to kind of show up. So we'll see how protective measures were taken into place and what happens with the protests. And if cases spike, I think a lot of the spike we're seeing right now is because of people going out on Memorial Day weekend and not being as careful and spending more time with other people outside of their home. So I think it's a really important time to kind of see and correlate what's going on with the different activities.
Yeah, totally. And how have you kind of as my brother keeps telling me, survived the apocalypse? So he keeps calling it.
Yeah. So for me, as someone who works for myself and works from home all the time, that aspect hasn't been any different.
Yeah.
My fiance has been working from home now too. So that's been a bit of a change, but it's been nice. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so it is a little tight, but it is really nice having someone home with me all the time because I used to be by myself a lot of the day. So it is nice to have him here. He kind of took over our bedroom and made it his office / workout studio / bedroom.
Oh no.
So I sit out in the kitchen area and the main area, and he kind of takes over there, but it works out. I have been talking with my parents. They live in the suburbs. And so on the weekends, we've been going back to the suburbs and seeing them. So we've kind of expanded our circle into my parents and my fiance's parents, and just not seeing anybody else at this point, so that we are still staying safe, but that we're not just stuck in the city. It's a little bit more airy in the suburbs, so we can go on walks without masks on and like experience nature a little bit better. So that's been really nice. But yeah, just binge watching TV shows, hanging out at home, trying to go on walks when I can, and just trying to stay as safe and healthy as possible, because I don't want to get coronavirus like everybody else. So just trying to stay away and socially distance as much as possible.
Yeah, totally. And that's such a good thing as well to kind of raise is the whole exercise aspect. Like, it is so important right now to be exercising, you know, wherever we can, however we can, because I think it's so easy, like you say, to just sit and binge watch TV shows.
Yes.
But it's really not going to help mental health, because you're going to be suddenly feeling like, oh, I'm really stuck in this house and I'm really kind of trapped, and all those sorts of feelings kind of edge in, and it's not good. So yeah, taking walks in nature is amazing if you can do it. And doing some kind of home sort of exercise as well. Like, there's loads of YouTube videos of like yoga. I really like yoga. I've kind of been doing yoga, and that sort of thing, which is totally awesome. But yeah, so because you work for yourself, do you find that you've been working more? Because I know I do.
I don't know if I'd be working more. So I kind of started my business a month before COVID started. So I've just been ramping up my business. So it's as business continues and as I'm an entrepreneur and as things get more busy, I just get more busy. So I feel like even without COVID, I would have been just as busy. But now I have the time to do it. I don't have to go out and run errands or get groceries as much. I can get them delivered if I want to. So I have this space to spread it out a little bit more, which has been helpful.
That's good. That's good. Because I think so me and my partner both work from home. We're both entrepreneurs. And I think because we've got nowhere to go, we literally just sit and work.
Yeah, you need to take breaks.
So yeah, it's good to know that other people are sort of in that position. It's not just us like being really boring. So that's
good. Take breaks, get in nature.
Yes. Yeah, our dog loves going for walks and things, so she reminds us daily, like, it's time for walkies. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. It helps get you out of the house. I've made it a point to go on a walk every morning. That definitely helps my adrenaline, as well as helping just get me up, wake up. I felt like I was starting to get deconditioned as well. In terms of POTS, it's really important to move and have movement and make sure that you're not sitting all the time. And when coronavirus was really bad and they didn't really know how to protect yourself from it, I was just staying home all the time because I was so afraid to even just leave my house, because at that point people weren't wearing masks and they weren't protecting other people. And so now I need to get back my momentum and get back my strength in terms of being able to walk farther and do different types of exercise. So I've just kind of started that back up in the last week or so.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well done for that. Awesome. Cool. Let's leave things there for today, and check out Carley's full episodes in a few weeks' time. I think it's the start of August that your episodes come out, so which is exciting.
Perfect. Yay.
So thanks so much, Carley, and chat to you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye. If you have a chronic illness, you'll know that symptoms can be so annoying. Whether you're trying to figure out what symptom is for what condition, or trying to figure out what is triggering your symptoms, the ENabled Warrior Symptom Tracker can help. It's a book that I've developed alongside doctors and other patients, or as I like to say, warriors, to make it as easy as possible for you to track your symptoms, and it's easy for doctors to glance at and give you the best care possible. Take a look at the show notes right now to see where you can get yours. And remember, warriors, stay enabled. Warriors listening, if you've enjoyed this episode and you want to win $100, leave a review on Apple Podcasts and tell us what you liked best. We'll choose one review at random each month to win $100, and after you've left your review, remember, go and click that subscribe button. Are you ready to fight back against your chronic illness and go from being disabled to enabled? Do you want to be an enabled warrior, someone who's brave, strong, and confident, and someone who's ready to find a way to achieve awesome things despite a diagnosis? This is your invitation. Check out DISabledtoENabled.com for articles and reviews to find out how you can become enabled too. Subscribe to the podcast to always be in the know. If you think this podcast is better than sleeping in on a Sunday, tickle that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And make sure to share this episode with someone who needs some inspiration. Want to ask your questions to future guests? Make sure to join our Enabled Warriors tribe on Facebook and look out for our question posts. Before we go, check out DISabledtoENabled on Instagram for posts that tell it like it is. And remember, warriors, stay enabled.